Welcome to Total Tarot Part 2 and Part 3. So I've received my subscription and that included Part 2 and Part 3 of Total Tarot, and I also got sent this lovely binder to put the magazines in. And so I place my issues 1 to 3 in here, which I'll show you. That's Part 1. One-handed is a bit tricky, but I'll do my best. So this is Part 2 that came, and I got this a couple of days ago, I should say. And then Part 3, which is here. So that's Part 3. So if you subscribed in the UK, you probably would have got Part 2 and Part 3 together with the binder. And I'll show you the extras in a minute. But yeah, so I'm really loving this magazine. So we'll quickly go through them. So it talks about the major arcana. Sorry for the glare. Let me try and move this over here. Yeah. Lovely magazine. This is a 20-page magazine now, moving forward. Issue 1 was 28 pages. But moving forward, it's 20 pages. So all different kind of spreads, past, present, and future, which is really helpful. A different thing. Visual reference to the Radiant Wise Tarot, which we'll talk a bit more about in a minute. The Magician. This explains about the symbolism in the cards, A, B, C, D, and it gives you a little explanation. So that's really helpful. I find that really helpful. And then it gives you more information, other decks, and the meaning of particular cards in other decks, which are coming in this collection. I'll talk a bit more about that as well. Yeah, so I'm really loving this collection. Glossary. There's always a glossary at the back, it seems. And then the last page, what's coming in Part 3, which we have here. And then Part 4. So you get the Thelma Tarot half of in Part 4, and then the second half in Part 5, which I think is really good. Because from now on, every 2 issues you will get a whole deck, which I think is brilliant. Yeah. So we'll talk about what I got in issue 2 and 3 in a second. Part 3. When you subscribe, you get those gifts. So I've already got my first gift, which was the binder. I should point out, any subsequent binders, they're going to send, the company will send you and charge $8.99. So, but you can opt out of that. But I have opted out of it for the moment, because I think $8.99 is quite a bit. But we'll see if they come down in price later on. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about getting a whole load of binders, because I don't really have the room for them. But one is fine for now. So this is Part 3. So Part 3 is not on sale in the shops yet. It will be out in just less than 2 weeks. I think it's out 9 of Feb, if I remember correctly. 9 of Feb 22. But if you're a subscriber, you'll get the issue early. And that will be the same with the rest of the magazines as they get delivered to you. You will have the second issue slightly earlier than availability in the shops. Or quite a bit earlier. So Part 2 is in the shops now. It came out on the 26th of Jan. So you can get that in your local shop. History of Tarot, which is an interesting read. And then you got the old glossary. And then what's coming up in Part 4 and 5. So, as I said, Part 4 you get Part 1 of the Thelma Tarot, and then Part 5 you get the second half. So then you're complete with the Thelma Tarot. And then Part 6 and 7 something else, which I think is brilliant. Plus, I should say, you get 1 golden card. So from the pack that you got in Part 1. So that will so each issue you'll get 1 card, So that means if you get one card, you've got 22 cards in part 1. I should show you here actually. This is the cards from part 1, the Golden Art Nouveau. So in part 1 I gave you 22 cards, and then each issue thereafter you will get one card. So to complete your set of 78 cards. And if I'm not mistaken, that should complete at issue 57, maybe 58. So you'll complete that, and this is a large deck compared to the ones that you got part 2 and thereafter. So I'll talk about those in a minute. So yeah, so you'll complete your set later on in the series. Okay, so in part 2, now I should point out I got 2 copies of part 2 because my subscription one came in a plastic thing like this. I put my welcome tarot thing in here, but it came like this. But the ones in the shop come like this with the big cardboard and the pricing on. And I wanted 2 copies, and I'll explain why. So my part 2 is already in there, but I bought 2 copies because I thought it was really good value. And I got, obviously I got the cards. So I got part 1 of the cards. And I've lost the other card, so now I got 2 lots. So in my issue 2 and 3 I got both sets of this particular deck, so I'm complete now, and I have them sealed in there. I've kept them sealed. I'll quickly show you. But if you buy it in the shops, obviously you'll only have half. You have to wait until 9th of Feb to get the second lot, but because I'm a subscriber I got both issues. So what I'm going to do is I'll buy a second copy also of part 3. The reason being, and I'll tell you in a minute, I really like the Rider Wise deck, and I'll either have a second copy for me as a spare or give it as a gift. But in part 3 you also got this lovely tarot bag to keep your cards in, and this retails at $9.99, although I'm sure some shops should sell it for more. So for $6.99 for part 3 you would get the second half of the deck and one of these. So I think that's well worth it to get 2 copies. So I'll have 2 copies of the cards and 2 of these. So I think that's good value, but I won't do that all the time. I just felt like I really wanted to get 2 of these. And with the Radiant Wise deck, this is the deck that they will use throughout the series, referencing it in the magazine. So I think that's another sort of excuse, if you like, to get a second copy. But as I say, I may keep one for a gift, or just keep them both, whatever. We'll see how it goes. So that's how you get it in the shops, the magazine, which is on sale now if you're in the UK. So it's a 20-page magazine, and you get your storage box, the first half of the cards, obviously the magazine. Yeah, I quite like these cardboard things. I do keep them, at least for a while. And then it shows you part 3, which I already got, and then part 4 over there, and then part 5. Yeah, so I should show you the gold card I also got. Let's put that over there. I also got the Deck in Detail part 2 with issue 3. So like in part 1 you got this one here, which I've kept in my plastic. That was part 1. I've now got part 2. So this shows you, tells you more about each of the cards. I haven't worked out whether this is actually complete now, but yes, I've got part 2. I keep them in the plastic, keep it safe. And so the cards, the first half of the cards we got are here. Really nice cards, and they're a bit, like I say, they're a bit smaller. Actually, let me do a comparison. You can see compared, that's smaller. But that's not a problem, because this is the standard size, and that's fine. These are obviously lovely, and they're like a deluxe set. And this has the normal kind of artwork, whereas this has the Total Tarot branding. So that's how they'll go from now on, I think, with the branding, as it shows in the magazine. But yeah, this is a gorgeous set. So these are the cards. So you get half, which is 39 cards. I have to think about it for a minute. Yeah, so a lovely bunch of cards, and that's the reverse, which is nice. Yeah, it's a nice set of cards, so I'll be using those quite a bit. I am a sort of well, I am still a beginner really with the tarot cards. So this magazine collection is for beginners or intermediaries, or even if you're an expert at tarot, this magazine would be really good for you, because A, you can collect all the different sets, and B, there's also always different points of views about tarot interpretations. So I think it's really good for everyone really, but obviously especially beginners and so on. But it appeals for, you know, to everyone, I think. And with free gifts like this, you know, how can you miss it up? I don't know if you'll always get another gift with it apart from the cards, but certainly in the beginning they want to entice you to subscribe, don't they? So, but that's all good. I'm subscribed anyway, and I'm pleased to get I will be getting all 78 issues, so that will last, like, I think about 2.5 years, I think, which is fine. Okay, so the next thing I was going to show you was the cards that I got in part 2 and 3. So I got this one. I can't recall what it's called, but obviously it's a cup. Number 1, and I've got 2 copies because I bought 2 copies of number 2. And then I got this. This came in part 3, the wand. So yeah, and those were from part 1, the other ones. But yeah, so that's what you get. So you get 1 per issue, and then it will complete, I think, around issue 57, maybe even 58. Putting in the wrong box. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this collection. I'd recommend it to anyone who's interested in tarot or learning tarot, or anyone who's interested in divination, I guess. But yeah, it's a really good collection, good quality. Regular price $6.99. Part 2 was $3.99. But yeah, from part 3 onwards, it's going to be $6.99. So I think that's a good deal, considering you get a whole half deck of tarot cards in one set. You'd pay $13.98 for a whole set, as well as getting the magazine and any other extras you may get. Because if you bought the SCARABEO, which are excellent by the way, tarot decks in the shop or online, you will pay more than $13.98. So just to let you know, it is good value in that respect. But you also get the lovely magazine, plus anything else they may give you along the way. And if you subscribe, obviously you get the gifts too. So I think it's a great deal. If you haven't looked into subscribing, I'm not getting paid for this, by the way, but yeah, I think it's a good deal. And obviously if you change your mind, you can always cancel. But other than that, you can always buy it in the shops, but you won't get the gifts. But I think yeah, I think it's a really good collection, and I'm enjoying it. I still need to properly read issues 2 and 3, because I only got it a couple of days ago. But part 1 I really enjoyed. And so there you have it. I will try and make a video for each of these parts. I know my part 1 I didn't talk in it, but there was a couple of people that said you should talk in it. It would be better. So if you prefer me talking, mention it down below in the comments. If you prefer it silent and just a walk through the magazine and that's fine as well. Just let me know what you think down below. But yeah, so I'll look forward to seeing you for part 4 and 5 when I receive them. And that will probably be, let me think, that's going to be late Feb now. So about a month's time from now, or 4 weeks from now. And then I'll do a video as soon as I get the next parts, and I'll let you know how it's coming along. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope it was good to see the part 3 for those that haven't seen part 3 yet. If you're not a subscriber, just quickly end on that note by showing you the magazine cover again. But there's part 3. Alright, so thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.